What a fun little network of roots here. Hold the phone. What do we have here? Doesn't care whether I'm here or in Mexico or what. I'm going to make this as beginner proof as I can. Hello, and welcome to my living room. It's a new day. We're going full Halloween in this house. We're on the precipice of Halloween, and I have Haunted Mansion pajamas on. And they arrived yesterday, and I didn't feel like taking them off. Let's get into some plant care, shall we? Cheers. I have exactly 501,000 things to do to get ready for my trip tomorrow. Okay, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to unbox some plants from Palm Street, pot a few of my seedlings that have overstayed their welcome, transfer Terrens out of stratum. Stay tuned. I have here some planty mail, which is, of course, the best kind of mail. Hello, gorgeous. This plant mail is a purchase from the app formerly known as Plant3. I've noticed a new very cool trend on Palm Street. Everyone is doing a plant purge. A seller will notify you when their items will be up, and you can actually just scroll through each of the plants and just make a purchase, which the thing I like about Palm Street is it's as interactive as you want to make it. Sometimes you just want to hang out and watch people do a tour of their plant collection and show you plants, and you can buy plants that way. Some people prefer to bid on plants. Some people just like a buy it now. I have purchased from Nice Plants, Good Pots in the past, and they're doing great. Thank you, Erin. Thank you. These were seedlings. I mean, obviously. Now I am addicted to purchasing tiny little seedlings of plants that would be so expensive, full-grown adult size. So these have been so easygoing for me. I thought, why not? I'm going to buy some more little guys. What is this even? Let's see. Aha. I like a surprise, so I would have just gone with it. These were not expensive. Okay, this is going to be a mouthful. Tim Anderson Crystal Mag by Tim's Black. I'm not going to pretend like I 100% know what this is going to look like. I'll try to find pictures and show you. Hey guys, well, the bad news is I was not able to find a picture of what this plant is going to look like, nor the parents. So this is just a testament to the kind of hijinks you get up to in a plant purge. I approached this with a blind bag approach because I love these hybrids that this plant seller produces so much that I am willing to take a gamble and purchase a no ID plant from them as just a little seedling, because I know this plant is going to look so cool when it's done. Look at that. This is looking like a plant. So one of these, I believe I paid $30 for. So if you are entry level Anthurium, you want something very cool looking and special, but don't know if you want to drop a ton of money on one of these plants, I think one of these seedlings is the way to go. And I honestly feel like these little guys transition so much better into environments that are foreign to them, per se, than what they're used to. Tim Anderson, Mag Papillolaminum, Stripey by Rotodatum. Okay, this is a mouthful too. They're crossing all kinds of fun stuff over there at Nice Plants, Good Pots. The reason I wanted another Rotodatum plant is because of this guy here, which I got as a tiny, tiny little guy, but this has gotten pretty big. This one and the Stock Block Red Open, which is the other one I got at the same time, these have grown so much. Then they outgrew the cloches, and now they are in ambient, which is going to slow them down a little bit. They're doing great, but the growth most certainly will slow down for you. Let me show you what I am going to put these little guys in. Is this not the cutest little pre-Halloween vignette you've ever seen? I think only you are going to fit at the moment. He's looking pretty good in his little bubble dome. His little Halloween bubble dome from Michael. Okay. I have two friends, Jackie and Jackie, that are going to be coming to my house to water the plants. They are still going to be required to filter the water from the tap water because the water here in Los Angeles is very, very hard. And if I water these guys with it, it will look like they have bullet holes. They do not like it. Some of the plants in this house are fine with tap water. These guys, for the most part, are not. So filtered water it is for them. but I have spared my houseplant sitters from having to add nutrients. I usually add my nutrients with every watering. So I add Dynagrow Super Thrive, I add CalMag, I add Stress Coat. That's a lot for them because I have to measure it out. A lot of people like to skip a nutrient feeding maybe like once every couple of weeks and just do straight water only. I don't usually, but this week I'm going to just spare my houseplant sitters and I'm going to try to make their lives a little bit easier. There's a couple of plants here that are still in fluval stratum, which is a volcanic soil. I have to top up the water on them every couple of days. It gets dry. One of the reasons why some people don't like fluval stratum, it's sort of high maintenance, but it's so good for bringing zombie plants back from the dead. Your plants to just chill out and regrow some roots. Of course, the example I'm going to tell you is Terren, my regale. The day has come where Terren is going to move on from his fluval stratum. So let's get him. Okay. So you can see here he is, by the way, looking so good. But you can see there's a little bit of salt formation here from the nutrients, that's not a big deal. That happens to our plants. But this has gotten really dried out, and I cannot expect Jackie and Jackie to keep topping this up. You can see right here, this has become quite like powdery and compact. Could change it out, and I could put new stratum in, but I think it's done its job, and I think it's time to transition Terren into another semi-hydro mix like I have some of my alocasia in, and that is a mix of pon, perlite for some levity and porousness, and a little bit of vermiculite to help with some water retention. I feel a little bit apprehensive about it because he and I have really been through it. When I show a picture of him in his struggling days, I don't want to do that to him again. So I am going to put him in here and I'm going to watch him like a hawk. I'm going to put him in a self-watering pot. This one, like I've used many times for my alocasia. Okay, here we go. We're doing it. There we go. Solid little root system here, but yeah, these roots are dry. I can't do this to him. This is where I feel like using the CalMag and the stress coat really help to prevent stress from not being watered frequently enough or inappropriately. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this bright white mycorrhizae powder on my roots here. And everyone's favorite breakfast cereal scent. His little neck was sticking out a little bit too much over the top, so I'd like to bury him a little bit deeper this time. Here we go. Little in here. You know, everybody says that when you're handling perlite and these particulate substrates like this, you should wear a mask, but you notice that nobody ever does? I guess you have to do a disclaimer. After I do this, I'm going to keep an eye on him. I'm probably going to ask Jackie and Jackie for some pictures of how he looks. I mean, he looks adorable in here. This is so cute. I'm going to give him a water. This is so aesthetically pleasing. Hopefully Terren loves it as much as I do. He's got his little wick system down here. Hopefully a little bit easier maintenance for this guy. Okay, I am going to dispose of this fluval stratum situation here because one of the reasons I'm transitioning out of it is because it's kind of reaching the end of its life here. Terren has been potted in this since January. It's July right now. Maybe I could have gotten some more mileage out of it, but in fact, I probably could have. I guess I could. Only parts of it were compressed. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to throw it away. Okay, I'm going to continue on with Plant Prep Party, our speed round here, and I'm going to repot this Rhododatum hybrid and this dock block. Wait, opposite.
Strike that. Reverse it. This way, please.
Rhododatum hybrid and dock block. I'm going to give them bigger homes. Yep, here we go. This is going to go into a mix of orchietta, coconut chips, some pumice, some perlite, worm castings. I think that's it. Oh yeah, there's some rooty goodness here. This is stressful. This looks like a pretty good match for what they have in it. God, they've waited too long to do this. Here we go. Woo! Woo! Beautiful. Just beautiful. Look at that. What a satisfying little root ball we have here. Yeah, this definitely needs some room to spread out. And what a fun little network of roots here. So great. Very healthy and a bit fuzzy even. Gosh, should I even pop this bigger, I wonder? I'll try this first. I should go bigger so I can go deeper. This is a waste of time. All right, 6 inches it is. Let's do it. We're going big. Go big or go home. Yep. Let's give this guy some room to spread his legs, shall we? Awkwardly repotting. Well, I love it. Hopefully he does. Do the other guy here. Some people put the great white or their mycorrhizae in the soil. Both are correct. Whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat. Now we'll do the rotodatum. Rotodatum. These honestly had to be watered every 2 minutes, so... Woo, look at that. What a great looking root network. Once again. Okay, here you go. Tap, tap, tap. Perfect. In you go, friend. Somebody commented about this Monstera spoon. They also had it. I said to her, don't you feel like 20% happier when you use this spoon for planting stuff? She said yes. And okay, well, that was easy. These guys are large and in charge. They're ready. I'm gonna put them back in the guest room where they live. It's the final step before I can fully give my attention to packing and leaving on my trip. Because you know what? Okay, as lovely as this is, this variegated alocasia frydek, this is going to be a pain for the girls to keep hydrated. And I don't want to come back and have it come as a bunch of dried pebbles or overwatered. So I'm going to make this as beginner proof as I can. So guess what we're doing? We're going to move straight into leca. We're going to do leca. So my friend Nick, who you also may know as the propist, he loves putting his alocasia into leca. Actually, he is a leca opponent, period. I just have a few in leca, which I've had mostly a good experience with. I'm going to transition out of the flugel stratum, aka nature's caviar, and I'm going to put it into this. This is too unsightly for me, just plain, so I'm going to put it in this vessel right here, and at least it won't catch an eyesore. So let's do that. So let's look at these. You know, I feel like alocasia roots, and maybe that's why I love anthurium so much, is the impressive bit of chomp that you get from an anthurium root, and you just don't get that from an alocasia ever. I mean, this is like a pretty impressive network of roots. I'm actually kind of surprised, to be honest. Wow. All right, you done good here, Mr. Frydek. You done good here, nature's caviar. Thank you so much for the memories of flugel stratum. When I unpotted this, there's a video which I will link. But what I did was I did pon versus stratum. And so far the stratum is sort of winning, actually. And I removed the soil from the roots and stuck one in stratum and one in pon and let them go at it. The stratum plant does quite well. The other technique is to remove all of the roots from your baby plant and then put it in water and then let it grow some water roots. But this has gone really well so far, so this seems very happy. So let's put a little bit of leca in the bottom here as a little cushion. Take our breakfast cereal powder of life. Don't love how this smells, but it works, man. I'll tell you. So inoculate your roots a little bit, plop it in your leca. just word to the wise, be very careful leaving your leca around. I know all of us plant fanatics are guilty of leaving our plant substrate laying around sometimes. I left that out, and my dad came over once and just grabbed leca clay pebble and just started eating it. And then that actually a second person did that, like I think a different day also. So I've learned to not leave the leca just laying around. It's a setup. All right, cool. Done. Ready for plant sitters. Okay, I feel pretty comfortable leaving these guys. They're in a pretty good state right now, except for this looks okay here. My Zamora Queen, but what is this disaster? Oh, so sad. She's a party on the top, and then just sort of, she turns into a hot mess. That's okay, though. I love the scale. I just love the scale of this plant. Zamora Queen all day. All day. Well-behaved, regale in leca still. This guy, would you believe he's going again? He's going again. Can't believe it. Magnificum silver. Who knew? Okay. And then this crystallinum is gigantic. Okay, just doing a quick survey. We still have some new guys here. Everything looks really good. Including this queen in leca, which since when is a plain non-hybrid or a quianum more well-behaved than a queen hybrid? I never thought I would see the day, but here we are. The longest taking plant ever to produce a new leaf. But everybody, hold the phone. What do we have here? What is this? Okay, we got to talk about it. Gentlemen, this is no longer a Hoya-less household. I just got the cutest little guy, the Latifolia, otherwise known as the dinner plate Hoya. I got this from Steve's Leaves, so I had the lowest expectations for this plant ever because this came with this little petiole and then nothing. And then before I knew it, and these 3 leaves, which was great, I think they were in beautiful condition, in no time, it started putting out this little Hoya emergent, which I thought was so cute. So, I mean, so far so good. I just added a little bit more coconut chips to the top, and I've been feeding it with the rest of the nutrients that the other anthurium get, and it is just fine. It's sort of in the periphery of the grow light here on the fireplace and seems to be adjusting just fine as the new kid on the block. Y'all were right. You thought it was either going to be a Sarawak or a Latifolia, and you were correct. Guess what? I'm back. I want to show you how these plants are doing. Is everybody dead? Do they look amazing? Let's find out. Come on in. About a month before I went on vacation, I had treated this PSS with Physan 20 because this was happening to all of the leaves and the petioles here. It was starting to spread to the other plants and being very disruptive to the rest of the class. So while I was away, this happened right here, and it fully unfurled and looks absolutely pristine. This was a success story for this PSS. Okay, the good news is it turns out Jackie and Jackie are amazing plant sitters. Everything was well hydrated when I came back. They followed my instructions about watering. I think it was about 6 days after I left, and I had done a thorough watering and nutrient feeding of everybody. So all their job was only just to water, but there was one additional task for Jackie. I had a delayed shipment from Woohoo Tropicals of a Happy Woo 1 by Voldemort, one of my wishlist plants because, hello, Harry Potter fan here, Voldemort fan, Dark Plant fan. Jackie and Jackie were tasked with the unboxing of this plant and were sweet enough to put it in this little vessel for me, but holy, this is outstanding. So I probably would have died had I unboxed this on camera, but when I came home and had it sitting on the counter looking healthy and beautiful, that was good enough for me. So, I mean, shipping in the dead of summer, this looked absolutely spectacular, and I am excited for it. Let's see what these plants got up to. So David Portia Dreams here basically just gave me the middle finger that it doesn't need me at all. It's doing fine. It doesn't care whether I'm here or in Mexico or what. This leaf was this size when I left, and like 10 days later, it's this. I mean, this was the most impressive of everybody. Thanks, Jackie and Jackie. I don't know what they did, but this worked. And actually, it's got another caterpillar, here, that's ready to go off again. I've mentioned before, David Portia Dreams is a plant that just keeps going. It's going to flower a lot. This is crazy. This is like the rock of the living room. Also noteworthy was this very perfect looking Anthurium luxurians. I feel like this is going to be really big and beautiful. Do these plants do better off without me? Maybe. Am I messing with them too much and meddling? This is their peak season and they don't need me. They seem to be fine. Jackie and Jackie did such a great job. I just gave them instructions to feel all of the plants first and do like a little finger test. And if the top inch or so was dry, then just go ahead and give it a water. If not, move along. And I also set the air conditioner on eco mode. So the house stayed roughly around 80 degrees or so. First of all, I didn't want to roast the house sitters. And second of all, I did not want to come back and have the plants looking like wilted spinach leaves. The only thing looking sort of sad is this Melanochrysum. Womp womp. You know why, obviously. It's not supposed to just be suspended in space like this. It needs something more secure to climb on, so. Let's check on Terrence. What's Terrence doing? Since the big move into self-watering, Terrence is doing quite well. And actually, it looks like he has another friend coming right here. That's good. Look at him. He's just, living his best life in his postgraduate school here. Okay. I also came back and noticed this had happened. New Tycon. I mean, overall, stuff was really going off over here. They don't need me. They don't even need me. These guys all looked really healthy. This pole needs to be reworked, but this was new. I mean, stuff happened real fast around here. Let's go check on these bedroom plants, shall we? See, what are they doing? Okay. I was very excited to see that this loves being in leca. So transitioning it out of flugel at this point in time was actually the correct thing to do. We already have another emergent here, and this is looking fine. Forgetii, the shape looks great, but it really has kind of slowed down. The size really has slowed down. So I'm thinking that this just needs to be repotted into a bigger home. I mean, it's like literally the equivalent of being in a clown car. I mean, this is about as root bound as it gets. So that's my fault. And then there's Zamora Queen. We have a new lease coming. We have a new emergent. Another drama-free Zamora Queen. She's going to be big. They're always big, these guys. So everything still looks really happy. The King of Spades grew. Everything grew. This actually, okay, this does not look that happy. This probably should go back into, probably go back into flugel with a little bit of perlite maybe. This is not really that happy in pond at the moment, so. I mean, remember, these are twin plants. Interesting, huh? All right, let's check on the guest room plants. Let me show you what's happening in here. Okay, for some reason, all of the difficult plants decided to behave this time around. So look at this, a giant regale. Now this was that like funny looking regale I bought from Equa, and this is its new emergent. That's giant now. I mean, I haven't even taken it out of its nursery pot. It's still in this. Look at these roots. You know, one thing about a regale root is it's large and in charge. So well-behaved regale it's still got 3 leaves. So, I mean, those of you who are regale lovers know that these don't usually give you a lot. Okay, and our transplant So the red crystal that we transplanted before we left on vacation has a new emergent here. So that seems quite happy. Also, so does the rhododendron. So I think sizing up on these two was a good idea into the 6-inch. And last but not least, see, there's so much stuff going on over here that I could not even show you everything. But crystallinum has a new leaf also in lecas. They don't need me. They're on autopilot, these guys. It just goes to show they can take a little break from the nutrients unless you have a very seasoned plant sitter who doesn't mind doing all of that for you. Just a little bit of filtered water or water, you live in an area that doesn't have such hard water like we do here, is fine. Overall, guys, I'm really pleased with the condition of the plants after this fun little Mexican getaway. Oh yeah, and the only thing was this Watsoniana, which I mean is absolutely quite beautiful, but the only thing is with this semi-hydro here, it's right in the sun and it just gets a ton of algae. It's so gross, but otherwise the plant itself looks so good and so healthy. These like semi-hydro kind of water props were a little bit dry. I think the girls just kind of didn't know what to do with them. That's fine. They actually recovered quite quickly. So like I said, again, I think it's the stress coat just makes them a little bit more resilient, I think. That's just my observation. One of the things I did want to mention is that many of these aeroids are under grow lights, which are on timers set for 12 hours. These plants in the living room, the timers go on at night, and then the ones in the bedroom, the timers go on during daylight hours. They're set automatically, but I did get a text when I was in La Paz that as they were watering them, one of the switches was accidentally left on for the grow lights. So I just had to walk Jackie through how to reset up the grow light timer, which she did, and it was successful. So that was like the biggest hang up we had, but nothing died. I did actually throw away the regulosum. Listen, we got to talk about your performance. The others and I have been talking, and we've noticed you have been distant. You have frankly not been giving 100%, and it shows. I think this is the end of the line for us. There's just no room for it here. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining me on this Where Are They Now vacation prep. Plants looked great. Jackie and Jackie did a great job of taking care of them. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Wishing you all the big leaf energy.